Hello, Pewter people. Scott Reynolds here with another Pewter Pulse. Tampa Bay center Graham Barton and the Buccaneers got some good news on Monday. In some ways, it's kind of sad news because, well, you'd never like to see an NFL player retire due to injuries, but Detroit Pro Bowl center Frank Ragnow just retired due to the multiple injuries he's accumulated over his 7-year NFL career, and a great one it was. I'll explain how this can benefit the Bucs and Bartons in just a moment about Ragnow's retirement. But first, a reminder, hit the thumbs up button in this video, give it a like. Also, leave a comment. I love reading your comments. When you do those two things, well, it helps us with the YouTube algorithm, gets us in front of more awesome Bucs fans like you. We're experiencing some amazing growth right now on our Pewter Report TV YouTube channel. Thanks to you. We're on our way to 20,000 subscribers. So please help us by hitting the subscribe button on Pewter Report TV. It's free. Thank you very much. All right. Are there some Pro Bowls in the future for Bucs second-year center Graham Barton? I think so. Well, making the Pro Bowl just got easier with Ragnow's retirement. And I'll get into that right now. The Lions are dealing with the surprise retirement of Frank Ragnow. Right now, the Bucs themselves have been through a surprise retirement before when Pro Bowl left guard Ali Marpet suddenly retired before the age of 30 after the 2021 season. That coincided with the unfortunate career-ending knee injury to Ryan Jensen at the start of the 2022 training camp. Thankfully, Marpet's retirement came before free agency and the draft and allowed Tampa Bay the opportunity to draft Luke Gedeke, who they thought was going to be a guard, in the second round. But then Jensen's injury happened at training camp after free agency and the draft, and the team was essentially forced to turn to backup Robert Hainsey to be the starting center in 2022. Now, Ragnow had just turned 29 years old, but he was forced to retire due to multiple injuries, and that's really unfortunate because he was just a fantastic center. But his body wore out, and he made the first Pro Bowl of his career in 2020 and then made 3 straight Pro Bowls from 2022 to 2024. Veteran Graham Glasgow is now slated to take over as the center in Detroit. The Bucs are set to play the Lions in Week 7 on Monday Night Football up in Detroit. And the Lions are just a better team with Ragnow under center, so this is a big loss for them. Now, I'm not a fan of the Pro Bowl. Certainly not in its current form by any means, which is a ridiculous flag football game. But it serves a purpose as it is a necessary evil when it comes to not only assessing players' value in free agency, but also when it comes to Hall of Fame voting. Don't believe me? Ask Levante David and Simeon Rice, as the only thing that might keep them from getting a gold jacket in Canton, Ohio, will be the sparse Pro Bowl nods they've received. It's crazy to think that a pass rusher of the caliber of Simeon Rice, who has 122 career sacks in his 12 years in the league, where he averaged 10 sacks per season, only made 3 Pro Bowls, including 2 in Tampa Bay. But it's true. The Pro Bowl is really just a popularity contest, and Levante David has found that out the hard way. For nearly a decade, David was a Pro Bowl snub because Seattle's Bobby Wagner and Carolina's Luke Kuechly were the NFC's inside linebackers at the Pro Bowl. They had the name recognition, and they kept racking up Pro Bowls based on that. Now, they were great players, don't get me wrong, but there were years where Levante David's numbers were better, and he got snubbed. David just played on a lesser team like the Bucs, while the Seahawks and the Panthers were playoff teams during that span, and that's really what helped their cause and hurt David's. It's a joke that David has just 1 Pro Bowl on his Hall of Fame resume, and that will hurt him when it comes time for the voting on his Hall of Fame candidacy. In 2013, David somehow made the first team All-Pro honors, which is even more selective than the Pro Bowl. Yet he was snubbed for the Pro Bowl. The exact same thing happened to Bucs safety Antoine Winfield Jr. In 2024, when he was snubbed by the Pro Bowl, yet wound up as a first-team All-Pro that year. There have been years where Mike Evans and Ali Marpet were also Pro Bowl snubs, despite great seasons in Tampa Bay. And this is nothing new for the Bucs, unfortunately. So how does this work into Graham Barton's future in Tampa Bay? Well, the Pro Bowl is simply a club where the popular players get in. That's right. They get to frequent the Pro Bowl club. Once you are in the Pro Bowl club and you build that name recognition, it's a lot easier to stay in rather than trying to get in the first time. So that's why Ragnow's retirement, which comes just 1 year after the retirement of Philadelphia's Jason Kelce, who was a 7-time Pro Bowler himself, is a good thing for Barton and the Buccaneers. Barton has a legitimate chance of getting a Pro Bowl honor now with Frank Ragnow's retirement. Out of Pro Football Focus's top 10 highest graded centers, New Orleans' Eric McCoy is the front runner for the top spot in the NFC. McCoy is also a 2-time Pro Bowler, but that's come as an injury replacement in 2023 for Ragnow and as a replacement for Philadelphia's Cam Jurgens last year as he was in the Super Bowl with the Eagles. Barton has a chance to grab one of those 2 NFC center spots in the Pro Bowl, especially blocking for a 1,000-yard rusher in Bucky Irving and snapping the ball to 2-time Pro Bowl quarterback Baker Mayfield. And with really good games at Atlanta in the season opener and at Houston before a nationally televised audience on Monday Night Football in Week 2, Barton can really elevate his profile early on in the season and build some early momentum for a Pro Bowl campaign in 2025. 6 of Pro Football Focus's top 10 centers are in the AFC. Kansas City's Creed Humphrey, Baltimore's Tyler Linderbaum, Pittsburgh's Zach Frazier, Miami's Aaron Brewer, the Jets' Joe Tippmann, and Buffalo's Connor McGovern. In the NFC, with Ragnow's retirement, there are only 3 centers that were in PFF's top 10 last year. McCoy, Drew Dalman, who moved from Atlanta to Chicago this offseason, and Arizona's Yalda Froholt. With the big second year in Tampa Bay, I could see Graham Barton contending with Dallas's Cooper Beebe, who also had a good rookie season last year with the Dallas Cowboys, for one of the 2 Pro Bowl spots in the NFC at the center position. Only 3 centers have made it to the Pro Bowl from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tony Mayberry, who is the most decorated center in franchise history with 3 Pro Bowl appearances from 1997 to 1999, is one of them. Jeff Christie, who made the Pro Bowl in 2000, is another. And then, of course, Ryan Jensen, who made the Pro Bowl after the Super Bowl during that 2021 season where the Bucs got 13 wins, which is a franchise high, is the third. Barton has the athleticism, the strength, the football IQ, the agility, and the ability to be the 4th Pro Bowl center in Tampa Bay history. And I think it's coming. I do think he'll wind up being the best center in franchise history when his career is done in Tampa Bay, surpassing Mayberry eventually for that distinction. PFF was not kind to Barton during his rookie season as he ranked as the league's 45th center with a 65.6 grade according to their grading system. Remember, there's only 32 starting centers. So they had some backups ahead of Barton last year. But we saw Cody Mauch make a massive jump in the PFF grading system last year with a 74.6 overall grade and being ranked as the 22nd best guard in the league after a dismal 43.9 grade as a rookie during Cody Mauch's 2023 season. So there's hope for Graham Barton. I'd like to congratulate Frank Ragnow on a great career, one that was shortened by injury for sure, but his departure does open the doors at the Pro Bowl club. And now they'll be letting a couple of new centers in the NFC. Let's hope that Graham Barton winds up making the Pro Bowl club rather than being the latest Bucs Pro Bowl snub. And that's today's Pewter Pulse. Make sure You check us out on Pewter Report TV, our YouTube channel, where you'll find more Pewter Pulse videos from yours truly, as well as some great Bucs OTA content and the Pewter Report podcast. We just had Todd Bowles on, head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Make sure you watch that interview at Pewter Report TV, our YouTube channel. And Jason Light, the Bucs general manager, will be on as our special guest on Monday, June 9th at 4 o'clock. Make sure you follow us on X, Facebook, and Instagram at Pewter Report. And make sure you read all of our content from Bucs OTAs and the mandatory minicamp, which is coming up on pewterreport.com. And I'll be back soon with the new Pewter Pulse.